Stavros Tousios for M4Markets. Today we're going to look at euro dollar and also dollar against the Canadian dollar. Well, Fed's Powell spoke. He is hawkish. I'm not going to go into fundamentals. Technically speaking, we are approaching a very critical level for euro dollar. This is the base channel, okay, of the uptrend from the low of 95. Okay, so there is high risk here, guys, that if we are going to break outside that channel, then we're going to head towards the 103, which is the 50 Fibo, of course, after the break of the 38, perhaps even closer to 1 once again before we can make assumptions of whether this is going to be a continuation to the upside or to the downside, because all of this just might be an actual correction for further continuation, right? But as we approach down here, we'll have a lower low, and we don't have a lower low for the RSI. And that, of course, on the 4-hour suggests that there is some sort of bullish hidden divergence, okay? So there is some upside bias, and of course, it's unknown whether we are going to break that or not, or we're going to go down to 38. Today is Wednesday, and we do have Friday to take into account because we have the NFP, right? So I think until the NFP, maybe we're just going to consolidate. Perhaps we see some sort of upside in the short term, some take profits, or even some downside to receive rejection at this level. But I think it's just the Friday that is going to tell us whether we can see a potential continuation down towards the 50 and a break, of course, of the actual upside trend, or whether we're going to see an actual rejection and start turning to the upside once again. Of course, that will depend on the NFP, because it's a very important NFP, given, of course, that data keep coming hot in the US, and that's why Fed's Powell was a bit more concrete this time around about his about the Fed's plans to hike. Now, look, we cannot ignore that we could potentially have a double bottom over here and a false break. So with that in mind, and if the low is in, we have to look at 105.6, 105.9, and 106.12 as well, in case we continue to the upside. But that would mean we're going to see a very strong bounce. Okay. Now, when it comes to dollar against the Canadian counterpart, guys, we talked about it last week, I think, as well. We talked about this breakout. We said we saw rejection here, and that has potential for further continuation. The RSI does higher highs along with price, and this is good for continuation. Okay. We have also broken above the 61 pointer, so the next level up really is around 138. Okay. Of course, to be determined by the NFP as well. Now, I don't want to mix these two up, but this looks like it's going up to the previous high in the short to medium term, I would say. Okay. Now, obviously, there is going to be pullbacks on the way up. Okay. What we would prefer to stay above 137, guys. Okay. But that doesn't necessarily change the outlook. Okay, but we would prefer to stay above that level. Now, as you can see, as we have extended quite a bit from that first leg and the first correction to the downside, nearly to 238. But look at this, the 100 broke very easily. So the next level up, and as you see, is a cluster level between the 79 and 261 Fibonacci's at 138.25 or so. It's that. So I will be expecting prices to head there quite soon and then receive a rejection. Perhaps we can see a pullback down to 61 for a support. We want to see the levels, the downside, turning into supports for further continuation. Okay. If we go down in the 1 hour, we can also see that that looks like had an extended move to the upside, and that kind of means that slowly, guys, we might see prices going up and momentum going lower. That will be an indication of the pullback starting to come in slowly, okay? Because as I said before, yes, short to medium term up, but short term pullbacks are expected, okay? I mean, we could go down to 135.50 and still remain to the upside, but we want to stay above 137, guys. And 136.69 kinda is going to be 65. Is going to be the level that might be a good idea to start reconsidering in case you are in that trade. You start considering to take a sort of smaller loss, or even change trades.